Hello friends, today's topic is the cost of being poor. Let's rant.
Growing up, my mom was always saying that it's expensive to be poor, and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And I was reminded of that today because I was going through my bank statements and I had a charge in December for $12 and it was marked as monthly maintenance fee, but I'd never had that before and I haven't had it in the month since. So I chatted with like the little robot, whatever person on Bank of America, and I asked them like, what's up with this $12 fee? And the lady looks into it and she's like, oh yeah, like there's this monthly maintenance fee, but we waive it if you either have a deposit over this amount each month, your account balance is over this amount, or you're a preferred like member. And I'm thinking and I'm realizing like that was the month when I was between serving full time and looking for my new job. So like I didn't have a paycheck or anything deposited. My account had gone below a certain level. But then I'm like, oh wait, like I'm a preferred rewards member, whatever it is. She's like, oh yeah, like we actually looked at your account when it got below this certain level and you're no longer preferred. So I'm like, okay, damn, like you're really kicking me when I'm down. Like I have the least amount of money I've ever had and I don't have a deposit and then you charge me more on top of it. But ultimately, like whatever, it's $12 and I'm lucky that doesn't really matter to me right now. But then I was thinking of when I was younger and like my mom and I were really struggling and one of our biggest sources of income was like my Dunkin' Donuts paycheck, which was maybe like $140 a week. And how we were constantly getting late fees and they were always $35. It was like overdraft protection. So basically what would happen is like I have $55 in my bank account. Keep in mind, we're not even using credit cards. It's straight debit. So we're not even like overspending on credit. Like this is all the money we have. We're using it for basic necessities. And it'd be like, all right, I have $55 in my bank account. The phone bill, whatever the fuck hits, $70. Okay, negative 15. Okay, immediate negative 35 for the overdraft protection fee. So now it's like I'm negative $50. My next paycheck comes in, it takes $50 out of that. So then like the next bill, we're short $20. And it's just like an ever evolving cycle of every month, normally like 2 times a month, we're paying $70 in overdraft fees. And it's funny because that overdraft fee was over 20% of my weekly income. But to someone who made $1,000 a week or $2,000 a week or $100,000 a week, they would, one, never notice that fee if they ever got it. But two, they would never get that fee because their account would never go below zero. They would never not have the deposit. They just would never run into that problem. And that's why it's so expensive being poor, and the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. This can be applied to so many other things. So for example, I just had to renew my car insurance and it was for 6 months. If I paid for the 6 months in advance, I think it was like $550, I want to say. But if I didn't, it would be a total of like $750 over the 6 months. So I'm able to save $200 if I can pay it all at once, but otherwise if I can't, I have to pay $200 more. And if you're poor, guess what option you're going with because you have no other option. And the kicker is that $200 savings would really mean a lot to you, but you don't have that option. And it's the same thing with car payments and student loans and even things like the quality of your shoes or your jackets. Like you're buying the cheaper pair of shoes, that's all you can afford. You have to buy a new pair the next year. Parking tickets even, like you park on the street because you can't afford a parking spot, you get ticketed. Someone who can afford a parking spot, if they got that parking ticket, it wouldn't matter that much, but to you it does. So you fight it in court, you have to take time off work. It compounds and it compounds, and it truly is crazy. It's the same thing we see nowadays with Trump and the Republicans, and how like the bottom 20, 40, 60% pays the most in taxes and the billionaires pay the least, even though the taxes that the poorest people pay hit them the hardest. It's such a big percentage of their income and actually matters because every $20 actually matters to poor people. And the rich people, they barely pay their share. And even if they paid what they were supposed to, they wouldn't even fucking notice. Drives me insane.
I promise this is not to be offensive, but have y'all noticed that we have normalized poverty? There was a guy on TikTok talking about how he doesn't like the fact that he's 50 years old and he has to have a roommate because things are so expensive. And the tone deaf comments of people saying things such as, oh, well, you have to live below your means, or, oh, you need to just go ahead and get an RV. not realizing that the RVs and the tiny homes, the trailers, which were the solutions to the problems, are now also unaffordable. Just a few years ago, tiny homes started to become popular, and they were priced at about $30,000-$40,000. Currently, tiny homes start at double that amount right now. All I'm trying to say is there's a bigger problem at hand, and telling people that they need to just completely deprive themselves of basic necessities such as a home, y'all don't think that's weird? I don't know.
When people tell you that being poor is really expensive, y'all have to believe them. I just seen a lady talking about how she's worked in the fast food industry for 20 plus years, and how in her adult years she's never seen a doctor, how she got 2 kids and she's like serving these people every day their food and still coming home and can't feed her kids, talking about how she's never had health care, no benefits. Like, bro, like, could y'all really imagine? Think about having to live that lifestyle and still having to basically go out in society every day and live your life like nothing wrong. The cost of living is steady going up. Your pay isn't. That's crazy to me. Then you have to take into account how many people like are living this way. That's one lady sharing her story. Could you imagine how many other people have to go through that? How many other people make less than what she making, and she already said she don't make shit? Like, bro, being poor is expensive. Being poor is expensive. Being poor is expensive.
So we all know that the penalty for being poor in this country is for everything to be more expensive. 2 years ago, I needed a car, both to get to work and to live in, which I've been doing for the last 18 months. And at the last minute, at my income level, that meant that my only option was a car that cost me nearly $1,000 a month to keep between payments and insurance. I don't need to tell you that's not sustainable, especially when you're like me and too mentally ill to hold down any one particular job for an extended period of time. Now, say what you will about my mental state, okay, but there are plenty of people who are in my exact position who don't end up completely discarded by society because they have things I've never had, like luck, resources, and opportunity. So many people have friends with resources or a supportive family network. They find a spouse, they inherit a house, ooh, bars. They get insurance money. Ain't none of that shit coming to me. So instead, I am asking all of my followers to send me $1. Because now I have to let them repossess this car. I have to. I have no other choice, okay? The loan on this car was $16,000, and in 2 years, I've gotten that bitch down to 15 and a fucking half. Kelly Blue Book value, $8,000 for this car. I am stuck. There's no way in hell I am gonna be able to pay this thing off. And I already wasn't making enough money, so my insurance lapsed. So my license was suspended again. And what the fuck good is there in going to work if I get arrested on the way? So I gotta let go of the car. Do I know where I'm gonna live? No. Do I know where I'm gonna work? No. Do I know how I'm gonna get there? No. Do I have all my things in a storage unit right now? Yes. Do I have anything else planned or understood? Absolutely not. The government already wants $2,000 from me from the last time I got caught driving without a fucking license. And I'm supposed to go to court tomorrow and tell them what exactly. Put me on a payment plan for the income that I'm gonna have as I continue to drive without a license so I can get to work? No, ma'am, Your Honor, you can't draw blood from a fucking stone. You're never gonna get that fucking money. I'm never gonna get that money. I'm asking all of my followers to send me $1. I'm not asking for money, though. What I'm asking for is opportunity. I'm hoping to find a moped for less than $1,000, which is all I can really hope for. The rest of this is a fucking dream. Again, luck. Imagine me having any. Totally different timeline. At $2,000, I could definitely get a moped and maybe even find some temporary shelter. At $4,000, I could do that and fix my license. At $10,000, maybe I could fix my license and find a car to live in from a private seller. Maybe like a Ford E-Series or something like that. If I got even half of what I'm asking for, I'd be saved from this situation entirely. And if I got it all, I'd never have to ask for money again. At least not without providing a service.
There are so many reasons that I'm passionate about financial stability and financial security, but the main one is that being poor is literally so expensive. I think about being a broke college student and overdrafting my account, right? And then being charged per day money that I already don't have. You're taking money from my account that I don't have because I don't have it. Make it make sense. These are the things that I'm talking about. I already don't have the money. but you're going to take money out of my account every day. So when I do get some money, I already have less. It's so hard to get back on your feet after you've been knocked off. And that's why financial stability is like not negotiable. Like that's a non-negotiable for me. That's why I'm always sharing finance tips or life hacks or things that I've learned, because I understand what it's like to be in a financial situation that feels like you can't get out of it. And that will cost you even more. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it's the reality.
The truth is right there looking at you. What do you think? Is being poor costly? Comment down below, and thank you for watching. Until next time.